Who doesn't like a little bit of cereal that's soggy?
Soggy cereal.
Hey my bowl of cereal, better help yourself to a seat and some cereal because today we're in for a wild ride. Sponsorships, they're everywhere these days. They're in your closet.
This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid is one of the most...
Raid Shadow Legends!
This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
They're in your backyard.
Go to SavagEtitles.com/CalvinandHabs.
They're even in your cereal. And I'm completely fine with that. I don't mind creators promoting a brand deal if that means that they can give me better content.
I like this. I like your setup, dude. I already like this guy. Dude, give it to me, soggy cereal. Make my cereal soggy. Give it to me.
But there is one service, one company which has clawed its way back from the depths it was cast into 6 years ago. A company that seemingly caused most of my favorite YouTubers to experience a memory blackout and forgot all about their first scandal back in 2018, and that is BetterHelp.
Oh, man. Oh, Jack's Films. No. No, not Jack's Films. Now, most people, especially if they're being presented with these sponsorships, they're probably just going to contextualize it through, hey, a little bit of that money. Because that's the reason why these companies are approaching them, yeah? Maybe it's a pretty good deal, especially if they're able to reach out to people like Anthony Padilla, right? Anthony Tortilla.
I'll set you up here.
I'll set up your dad. You bitch. I'm sorry.
I did need some chapstick.
It's just jokes. Keep it in your pants, people. All right, don't let your cereal get soggy. Okay, I make fun of everyone. Cool it. Yeah, that's usually what things trail back to. Money. Let's see what you got to say.
BetterHelp? BetterHelp me not get a cease and desist letter from their lawyers after I release this video, like other YouTubers have.
Are you kidding? Wait, seriously? Dude. That more so merits a video like this. 100%. Cease and desist for criticizing crappy business practices? Dude, go in, man.
This company hired, I'm assuming, very expensive lawyers. I got a very strongly worded cease and desist letter from BetterHelp.
For the people who don't know BetterHelp, well, first of all, thank you, because that means that this is the first YouTube video you've watched in the past 6 years. And I appreciate that. Because today, almost every creator is sponsored by it, even the ones I love. Mr. Ballin, The Try Guys, Jack's Films, Nick Crawley, Jubilee, and so many more.
He's got to preface it many times saying he does not hold the YouTubers accountable. It's mainly just ignorance on their part. And the fact that he has to do it so many times, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's aware of the potential backlash to these people who just blindly support these people. It's like, dude, think for yourself. Not you, dude. Not you, Soggy Cereal. You're on a roll already. We're only nearly 2 minutes in.
Noggin took my wife and slept with her.
The fact that he has to like preface it with, hey, I'm not blaming these people, you know, it's kind of just, I'm just pointing something out. It's like, dude, you need people like this. You need to point out this stuff. This is great. And if people are coming out of nowhere just to poop on him for pointing it out just because they don't like, you know, what they interpret to be a criticism towards the people that they were conditioned to idolize. Let's be honest here. The reason why people react so volatilely to any type of criticism to these people that they look up to, it's because they've been conditioned to idolize people like this. If you're in a position of high stature in society, people are going to go out of their way to defend you. Taylor Swift?
Recently, a YouTuber I watched got attacked by a bunch of Swifties because he made a funny video about Taylor Swift. So in this video, I'm gonna say I dislike Taylor Swift on Twitter to see if I die.
Like, people are, it's a cult, yet this person only makes freaking music. That's it. Like, that's it. There's really nothing special going on there, but like, I don't know, man. It sucks that he has to, he's probably gonna have to keep reminding people, it's like, hey, you know, I'm not trying to poop on these people. I'm just making observations. Which, dude, power to you, Soggy Cereal. Honestly, You're doing what's good.
Because today, almost every creator is sponsored by it, even the ones I love. Mr. Ballin, The Try Guys, Jax Films, Nick Raleigh, Jubilee, and so many more. BetterHelp is a 24/7 online therapy service. They promise easily accessible therapy with licensed therapists for an arguably cheap price. They're like Fiverr, but for mental health. And if that sounds like a terrible idea to you, don't worry, that's because it is. The company has been in scandal after scandal after scandal for the past 6 years. Some of you might remember that back in 2018, countless of creators were also being sponsored by BetterHelp, until their first scandal came to light. Remember when I mentioned that they promised licensed therapists? Well, in 2018, the only license they had was for being stinky little liars.
Let me guess. That's a lie? A business lying to make money? I don't believe that. Come on, people who make money, they're trustworthy, they're just better. They're superior people. BetterHelp is trying to reach out so they can help you better.
So she's smiling at me and telling me that she loves me, and I just look at her and I can't muster up anything. I feel nothing, and I feel empty, and I'm scared.
Oh my god, I don't f***ing care.
You, soggy cereal, unbelievable. You're just trying to bring people down. You're trying to destroy people's mental health. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm not going to even have to say, I'm not going to say that anymore. If you can't tell I'm kidding, get out of here. Like, increase your IQ points.
Affordable and private online therapy with a professional. They don't guarantee the verification of the skills, degrees, qualifications, certification, credentials, competence, or background of any counselor. It's your responsibility to determine whether they have any degree or qualification or certification.
But once this came to light, everyone started dropping BetterHelp as a sponsorship, of course.
Already, that's disgusting, despite them claiming on their website that they've done that work. Firstly, that's on them. They're the ones providing that to you. And secondly, they're telling you that they're providing quality, qualified service. Remember, if it's all for the sake of trying to make money, there are no ethics. Ethics is not a thing. Morals is not a thing. You can just make up stuff to get people to give you their money, because that's the point. That's the bottom line, and that's the only thing that matters. And whatever it takes to be able to acquire that, it's going to happen. And people are going to do it because it benefits them.
I was one of the disgusting YouTubers that did a BetterHelp promotion. And this was before I knew any of the, the controversy.
Yeah, at least he's, providing further context as to some of these people feeling some degree of regret for what they do, or, that type of thing, which you can't really, come on. If you're presented with a thing that comes off as official and they're giving you money, it's like, all right. And it sucks that it is sort of incumbent upon the creators to go out of their way to try to educate themselves in order to know whether or not the thing that they're pushing is good or bad. It's like, that should already be taken care of. But no, man, it's the wild wasteland. Snake oil salesmen around every goddamn corner trying to shift you, trying to slit you.
Are your snakes too damn squeaky?
Trying to goob you?
Better help yourself out of this PR disaster. Which they have. Because they're back now.
BetterHelp.
Worse than ever. In the past few months, many of my favorite creators have been pushing BetterHelp again. And as naive as I could be, I thought, BetterHelp might have improved themselves.
Again. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Or the other way around. But in this case, it's that way around. It's like, come on. Damn.
Their first scandal did happen 6 years ago, and I did read that they now do only use licensed therapists.
Right, but if they've lied before, is it really beneath them to lie again? Which he's probably gonna point that out.
That wasn't until I started reading the comment section on the videos that they were sponsoring. Quick reminder about BetterHelp's controversial past and also how they're selling your information to advertisers. Please don't take BetterHelp's money, they do more harm than good. I really wish you wouldn't continue advertising BetterHelp. They sold mental health data for marketing without anonymizing it for massive profits. Well, screw you, random comments. Because Alan Matas, the co-founder of BetterHelp, assured me they would never do anything as crazy as secretly sell private mental health data from their users.
Oh my god. Eggman. Who would have known the Eggman is trying to... What is that? Walter. I'm not having sex with you, Walter.
He called it a far-fetched conspiracy and a gross violation of federal laws, state laws, HIPAA regulations, and their own terms and privacy policy. Which is why they were fined $7.8 million by the FTC last year for doing exactly that. Yeah, so the FTC proved that they have been sharing private mental health data of their users, as well as their IP addresses, email address, with companies like Facebook and Snapchat. This mental health data included answers to very personal questions such as sexual orientation, specific reasons for wanting therapy, possible eating disorders, and so much more.
Man. Shame on the sellers, shame on the people buying. Shame on all those people. Yet, shame is not part of the equation. Money is, baby. You better help yourself to some of that cash, yo. You better help and get some of them unethical means of, raking in the cash. Because that's all it's about at the end of the day.
Shame. Shame.
Of course, when they were asking those questions of their users, they ensured them that they wouldn't be sharing this at all. Except with their therapist, of course. And yeah. Oh boy, can't wait what ads Facebook is gonna show me now that they think I'm an anxious, unemployed, widowed bisexual experiencing eating disorders and daddy issues. An ad for BetterHelp? Oh man! And those are just the lies they were caught on so far. And I mean, they've been lying about these ones for years. But poor startup multi-billion-dollar company can't apologize for their actions. It's not their fault that they try to abuse goodwill of their users for personal corporate gain.
One of the many reasons why it's like when people place the bottom line at like, oh, this guy makes a lot of money, or these people, this corporation, they know what they're doing, I have respect for that. It's like, I don't have respect for you. The fact that you think that matters so much, the way you try to idolize just monetary acquisition in general. Like, money is usually the root of evil. Like, an overwhelming majority of the time, everything reroutes to that, like money and influence and power. In these cases, just, for BetterHelp and all sorts of these companies, it's just money. So, if anyone's, jerking themselves off about that type of stuff, like, oh, I love these people, they're so good, you can't talk about how bad they are. I mean, look how much money they make. That means they're awesome, and that's the only thing I look at because I'm an idiot. Then that means they're an idiot. And try to take all their opinions when it comes to human conduct and behavior and ethics with a huge grain of giant Himalayan salt.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
So let's give them a chance and actually check out their services, and who better to check it out than someone with a master's degree in psychology who is giving therapy right now, my girlfriend.
Hey!
So I already told you about BetterHelp and how great of a company they are.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm just a dumb content creator and you're a literal holder of a master's degree in psychology, I would like you to talk about the services BetterHelp provides their users. I mean, look at all these beautiful green BetterHelp check marks, while in-office poop sessions have all these red crosses. Unlike in-office therapy, BetterHelp has messaging at any time, chat sessions, video sessions, phone sessions.
I mean, most in-office therapists have phones and laptops as well.
No, they don't.
Yeah, look at the checks. Look at all those red checks. That means they don't, and we should trust them because that's what they put that there. Jesus.
Pretty sure you haven't learned how to message at any time.
I mean, I don't think the BetterHelp therapists are going to answer 24/7. They have their personal lives, and we as therapists want the client to be able to process what they learned and not text us 24/7, because then you're not going to grow as a person.
I think you're wrong. Wait, so you dare say that BetterHelp's perks are actually not perks? They're creps?
I'm stupid.
I mean, you guys don't have easy to switch providers.
Fuck does that even mean?
Well, either they're talking about switching telecom providers, but I'm pretty sure they're referring to easily being able to switch therapists.
I mean, in-office therapists can be changed.
No! We all know you're assigned an in-office therapist at birth and then can't change it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, my in-office therapist had basically all of these services. I mean, I could text her whenever, I could mail her. When I had to move abroad to Sweden, we just did video call therapy for 4 months. So this deceitful chart should actually look like this. Okay, so can you guess how much they dare ask for this?
It's supposed to be cheaper than in-office therapy, right? So $120.
$300! I'm sorry. More specifically, $260 to $360 a month, depending on location, preferences, and therapist availability. Do you know how much I paid for my 2 60-minute sessions for in-office therapy a month?
$130.
$130. Like, who the fuck is this service even for? You know what? We shouldn't be judging the better. Well, you might have a master's degree, but I'm pretty sure you haven't learned how to message at any time
I
yet.
mean, I don't think the BetterHelp therapists are gonna answer 24/7. They have their personal lives, and we as therapists want the client to be able to process what they learned and not text us 24/7, because then you're not gonna grow as a person.
I think you're wrong. Wait, so you dare say that BetterHelp's perks are actually not perks? They're creps?
I'm stupid.
I mean, you guys don't have easy to switch providers.
Fuck does that even mean?
Well, either they're talking about switching telecom providers, but I'm pretty sure they're referring to easily being able to switch therapists.
I mean, in-office therapists can be changed.
No! We all know you're assigned an in-office therapist at birth and then can't change it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, my in-office therapist had basically all of these services. I mean, I could text her whenever, I could mail her. When I had to move abroad to Sweden, we just did video call therapy for 4 months. So this deceitful chart should actually look like this. Okay, so can you guess how much they dare ask for this?
It's supposed to be cheaper than in-office therapy, right? So $120.
$300! I'm sorry. More specifically, $260 to $360 a month, depending on location, preferences, and therapist availability. Do you know how much I paid for my 2 60-minute sessions for in-office therapy a month?
$130.
$130. Like, who the fuck is this service even for? You know what? We shouldn't be judging the BetterHelp platform without having tried it.
It's for people who they can shill into buying the service. It's all about marketing when it comes to, you remember the Stanley Cup?
Get him! Stupid! Get him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Yeah, stop him!
Right? Is that not irrelevant anymore? Yeah, it was just a fucking cup. But people were lining up out of the stores just to get their hands on it because that idea was sold to them. Its perceived importance and value. That's crazy, man, honestly. That sucks, man, especially when it comes to something like this. It's so predatory.
We're not paying for, yeah, we don't have $300 laying around. No, there are enough horror stories on TikTok where they share what I hope no one will ever have to experience in therapy. So you want to watch some TikToks?
No.
I did BetterHelp for about 3 weeks, and the straw that broke my back was when the therapist was in office for the first time. The last time was in her living room, and I was like, I'm just gonna believe no one else is there. As I log onto the video, she's talking to someone, and then just stops talking. It's like, hey, how are you? So let's get started. I'm like, someone is in there. She gets up, walks out an open door, meaning there was no privacy, goes into the lounge of like the office, makes popcorn while I'm talking, and then comes back with me, sits down and is eating popcorn with her mouth full, just chewing. What?
Wait, was I supposed to react to something?
So I guess, damn. So their business practices are probably reflected in the people that put their freelance services up on the goddamn shit. Wow. My goodness. Yeah, that sucks. But it makes sense, especially when you look at everything else leading up to that. You look at the way that place conducts itself. It would probably be reflected in the people that it hires as freelancers. I'm just going to use that term. In fact, that's a perfect fitting term in this context. Even though freelancer and like mental health and therapy, like those just the fact that that can be monetized, that sucks. The fact that anything that people need or could use for help, for better help. The fact that anything like that can be monetized, I mean, that is already a very shady, disgusting thing, but you can't really expect anything more from people, right? Especially when the environment facilitates this type of behavior. What was that, a 7.2 million fine? Weren't the subsidiaries that they receive from all those very companies? What was the number? 5.2 billion? A tiny little, that's like a penny. That's like a dime out of like $100 bill. That's crazy, dude.
How many years do you think it's going to be before we see a true crime documentary about BetterHelp?
So I tried BetterHelp twice. I actually got a refund from them. So my first therapist was 10 minutes late to our 10-minute meeting, our first initial meeting. And then she was like, oh, wow, we don't have a lot of time. I contacted them and I got a different therapist. He was also late and just completely missed our first meeting. We set a second one. He missed that one. And then he just texted like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I was at my other job. And I was just like, what?
Wait, didn't they advertise in-office therapy being bad because they have waiting times? With in-office therapy, you've got to spend time in their waiting rooms. With BetterHelp, you can save that time and spend it in our waiting rooms.
This is not a BetterHelp ad. I tried BetterHelp like a year ago. And in my first meeting, they're like, well, what are you struggling with? And I tell them I have an anxiety disorder, a panic disorder, and I'm dealing with depression. To which he goes, I don't think you really have those disorders. It's just society's fault because right now they're oppressing men. You can't go out and compliment a woman without becoming a sex offender. Now, I'm just gobsmacked by this. Just like, what? But he continues down this tangent. And then he goes, well, and you're also a straight white man, so of course you're the reason that everything in the world is bad. When you look at history and think about it, we're really the saviors of the world. Yeah, I closed the laptop after that, and I was done. Don't do BetterHelp.
Imagine paying like $300 a month just to get assigned to Andrew Tate with a psychology degree.
Oh, God, great therapy. You gave him one sentence and he went on a goddamn diatribe. He went on a giant-ass tangent explaining everything. Oh, man. And you pay, and money was paid, a decent amount was paid just for that. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I closed the laptop after that, and I was done. Don't do BetterHelp.
Imagine paying...
And I honestly hope that doesn't discourage people from trying to reach out to therapists and try to seek therapy, because it is very beneficial if done correctly, if you actually meet, professional therapists and such. Try to use, like, local resources and everything. Like, in my personal experience when it came to that, I prefer the in-person stuff, but, when I eventually landed on a therapist that was good and ended up having to move for other sakes, for other reasons, we do the online stuff, and that has been like beneficial. I haven't really gone through a third party such as like BetterHelp for them to set me up. I just looked around my local area and I found people that I could go in to talk to face to face. In that instance, I came across therapists that weren't great. I came across a few that were good, but after not even too many tries, I found some people that were able to fit for me and able to provide legitimate therapizing services, right? It's, yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that BetterHelp never helped anyone. I mean, that would be crazy. There have been people who said that their platform actually improved their mental health enormously. But with the countless horror stories and their shady practices, I don't know if the goods outweighed the bads.
Right. But like the Wolf of Wall Street,
is that I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners. I ask them to judge me on my losers.
That works in this context, right? Not necessarily the context of what the movie's about, right? Some selfish, gluttonous guy who just wants to make money. And that at least that part of his advice is true, right? Look at the negatives. And look at how widespreading they are, look how frequent, look how bad those things are, all those things.
There are also endless articles of how poorly and disrespectful their therapists are being treated. It's truly just a mess for both therapists and clients. I'll leave some links in the description if you want to read up on that. Again, I don't think YouTubers have to only advertise the greatest of products. However, when a company with such a shady and deceitful past tries to sell something as important as a mental health service, that in my opinion is both overpriced and sucks, yeah, well, that should be called out, and I think creators should be informed. So if you know anyone that still does BetterHelp sponsorships, you can just show them this video. And if you ever think of paying for BetterHelp, go instead seek BetterHelp. Yeah, that was my last pun, I promise. BetterHelp, more like BetterHelp me get 1,000 followers on Instagram.com/thesoggiest.cereal.
Dude, yeah, good video, honestly. Subscribe to this guy. And very informative, very good. So, yeah, no, my personal experience, it is a very beneficial service, not BetterHelp. Therapy. And I don't like quantifying it as a service, right? It's I don't know, that kind of seems to, that kind of delegitimizes it, or just through the term usage. Its importance when it comes to just mental health and everything. Don't use BetterHelp. Try to use like local directories. Try to just Google like, hey, you know, local therapist in my area, seeking therapy. My preference is in-person therapy because you get more of a more personal rapport established with the therapist. Now, of course, that's not always going to be practical or efficient, as in like, you know, you got to go out of your way, you got to spend time doing those things, but. And, you know, that's not a critique on the validity of online therapy and everything. It's just, unfortunately, when it comes to virtually everything in life, you kind of just got to, like, inform yourself. You got to do lots and lots of research before even making your decision. And then while you're making that decision, you got to do more research on the decisions that you're making. And then you got to make all sorts of various decisions that can amount to you landing on something, right? It's just trial and error. It's going through the process and trying to figure things out. It won't just be you know, you sign up and then you get someone and that's good. You got to find people who are, you know, who are able to provide your specific needs, let's just say. You got to find therapists who are actually professional and listen and don't try to just tell you exactly what it is that you're going through, right? A therapist is an unbiased third-party bounce board that's there to reflect to you your behavior. They're not there to tell you what you're doing right or wrong. They're not there to tell you, you know, or they're not there to try to pad your feelings, your delusions. They're there to try to help you contextualize what it is that you're feeling and your mindset. In many instances, try to provide some type of, I can't say, because they can't tell you directions on what you should and shouldn't do. It's more so, I mean, again, I take what I say with a grain of salt. This is my personal experience. It's there to help you try to understand yourself better and try to react to your emotions in a more healthy and beneficial fashion. Use local directories, use research, try to figure out what it is that makes therapy good, right? Try to build a framework as to what you know, what positive therapy is. Keep an eye out for them goddamn sharks, man, because everyone's out here to make a buck, honestly. It's disgusting. So, please stay safe, honestly. People are trying to get money from you. Doubt their intentions, man. They're not there for you. They're there for themselves. And they're going to be rewarded for it if we allow them.